For many years, a familiar message has appeared every time users launch the data compression software WinRAR. Please note that WinRAR is not free software. After a 40-day trial, you need to purchase a license or remove the software from your computer. The wording seems serious, but the actual user experience tells a very different story. When the trial ends, no functions are disabled. WinRAR continues to work fully as usual. No license purchase required, no feature limitations, no intrusive ads, and no sneaky data collection. In fact, most people are aware of this. They keep using the software as if they've paid for it, without ever spending a dime. What seems like a bug turns out to be a deliberate strategy by the WinRAR development team. Not only do they refrain from blocking continued free use, they silently embrace this phenomenon as if it was part of the original design. There are no forced ads, no data sold to third parties, and no enforcement mechanisms pushing users to pay. This raises a key question. Who actually pays for this software? And how has a company survived for nearly 30 years when the vast majority of its users never pay for its product? To understand that, we need to revisit WinRAR's origins. The origin story. On April 22, 1995, WinRAR officially launched, the result of the efforts of two Russian brothers, Eugene Rochal and Alexander Rochal. Eugene was the technical mastermind behind the complex compression algorithms, while Alexander handled marketing and distribution. As a software engineer, Eugene was acutely aware of the hardware limitations of early computers. Back then, storage was a scarce resource. Hard drives were expensive and limited in capacity, forcing people to be selective with what they saved. Eugene believed the issue could be mitigated by compressing data to occupy less space. Though the concept of data compression wasn't new, Eugene took a different approach. At the time, most compression tools used lossy methods, reducing file size by discarding information, suitable for media like images or videos where slight quality loss is tolerable. But Eugene wanted lossless compression, preserving all original data, even after shrinking file size. His solution was to exploit redundancy in data structure. For example, in a block of text, instead of storing each repeated character separately, an algorithm could identify that multiple sections were identical and need not be stored again. This concept became the foundation of lossless compression, optimizing how data is represented without losing original information. After extensive research, Eugene developed the RAR format in 1993, a breakthrough in file compression at the time. 2 years later, WinRAR was released as a tool for compressing and extracting files using the RAR format. From the beginning, WinRAR adopted a free trial model, but with a twist. Users were notified about the trial period, but never actually restricted afterward. This mechanism quickly brought WinRAR into the hands of millions of users worldwide. In an era when every megabyte mattered, WinRAR became an essential tool for saving disk space. Over time, RAR became a standard format alongside zip. WinRAR kept evolving with cutting-edge compression technologies. Eugene quietly released updates to keep pace with growing storage demands. However, as storage became cheaper, larger, and cloud-based solutions took over, WinRAR's role declined. Still, the name WinRAR held strong as a familiar and convenient tool. From a piece of software born in the age of megabyte drives, WinRAR became a silent companion for millions over nearly 3 decades. It didn't boast, advertise, or force. It simply worked, saving users precious disk space. But again, if most users don't pay, who does? And how has the company survived for so long? Let's explore that in the next chapter. The free strategy. The clearest difference between WinRAR's free and paid versions is just one thing: the notification window. For $29, users can remove the annoying message and rest easy knowing they're using a licensed copy. It's not a technical advantage, but it appeals to a sense of ethics and user convenience. Some frequent users see practical value in paying, saving time and avoiding disruption. But they are the minority. Most users simply close the pop-up every time and carry on without feeling the need to pay. Even those wanting to bypass the reminder without paying can easily find ways to do so. While not encouraged, this only proves one thing. In reality, WinRAR is practically free software for everyone. This isn't a business oversight, it's a carefully crafted strategy. In the software world, preventing piracy isn't that difficult. Modern security systems can create robust protections that average users can't bypass. A good example is Mac OS. Theoretically, it can be installed on Windows PCs, but the process is complex and lengthy. Fixing kernel errors and driver issues can take over 10 hours, discouraging most users. Only a small group of persistent, tech-savvy individuals even attempt it. But the point here isn't about technical barriers. It's about user access strategy. If software becomes too difficult to access, users won't go to great lengths. They'll simply switch to something easier. Windows is a prime example. Its dominance isn't just due to quality, but also its high piracy rate. Familiarity breeds user loyalty, and when people are used to something, switching becomes nearly impossible. Had Windows been as tightly guarded as Mac OS, Linux might have taken over the market. WinRAR followed this same principle. If it had restricted access and forced payments, it might have been replaced by tools like Zip or 7-Zip. Instead, WinRAR chose to let the majority use it for free. No limits, no tricks, as a long-term investment. This open-door strategy built a massive, loyal user base, and when the public embraces a standard, businesses have no choice but to follow. In a corporate environment, public standards often dictate workflows. While some firms may use niche formats, most align with user familiarity for efficiency and simplicity. Not just customers, even employees are part of the public. If they're used to WinRAR, companies will naturally provide it. This explains the staying power of suites like Microsoft Office and Adobe in business and education. Once users are locked in, organizations follow. And while individuals may hesitate to pay, businesses are far more willing to avoid legal, technical, or reputational risks. Who pays and when? For everyday users, there's little incentive to buy a WinRAR license unless they want to support the developers. But not paying brings no real consequences. No legal risk, no loss of access, no missing features. However, it's a different story for businesses. They could use pirated software, but the potential cost of getting caught is massive. The biggest threat isn't legal, it's reputational. If a tech giant like Apple were caught using unlicensed WinRAR, the backlash would far outweigh the money saved. Imagine 10,000 out of Apple's 150,000 employees needing WinRAR at $6 per license. Just $60,000. But if the story leaks and 10,000 customers stop buying Apple products out of disappointment, the revenue hit could exceed $8 million. And that doesn't even count recurring losses from brand damage. It's even more damaging for companies like Adobe or Microsoft. If they, companies that charge high prices for software, were found not paying for others' work, it would send a dangerous message. Even they don't respect licensing. That could push honest customers toward piracy, eroding trust, one of the most valuable and fragile assets in the software industry. From this perspective, WinRAR's model isn't strange at all. It's a deliberate, calculated business strategy. They were pioneers of the freemium model, offering free access to the masses and earning revenue from a smaller group willing to pay. It was a bold move in the 1990s, when most companies focused on immediate software sales. Time has proven them right. Today, the freemium model is everywhere. Users are used to free services like Facebook, Google, or Instagram without paying a cent. Those companies profit through ads, business services, or data sales. YouTube Premium even highlights its privacy stance as a reason to charge users. But WinRAR doesn't follow these modern trends. It sticks to its own path. No force, no change with market tides. It's become an icon with its never-ending 40-day trial. A friendly joke among internet users, but also a symbol of a humane and sustainable strategy. Though no longer as dominant, and with file compression demand shrinking in the cloud era, WinRAR still operates effectively. Google Trends shows waning interest, yet the company continues to bring in around $21 million annually. With a lean operation, that's more than enough for steady profit. WinRAR doesn't aim to be the next Adobe. It just stays true to its identity and continues on as a silent legend in the hearts of millions. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, drop a comment below to support our team. See you in the next video.